Everybody watching Morning Live here. It's 20 minutes before 7 on this Thursday morning. Thanks so much for being with us on the program. Now, the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development says there is an increase in the number of human trafficking cases being reported countrywide. This emerged during a consultative workshop on draft human trafficking legislation in Cape Town early this month. Now, just this past weekend, the Hawks rescued 16 from a house in Kempton Park. This coincides with the UN International Trafficking Day on the 30th of July this month. And joining us in our Hatfield studio is Colonel Angelina Matlabe. She's from the HAWKS Human Trafficking Office. Colonel, thanks so much for being with us. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Leanne.
Now, how did you get to know about all of this?
Okay, we got a tip-off about the drugs in the area, and then as we were investigating drugs in the area, there was a big operation organized. Then in one of the houses, when we were going to search for the drugs, then we stumbled upon 10 girls in the house. And then we asked the girls what were they doing there, because the condition of the house wasn't proper or wasn't conducive for the living conditions. That's why we found out that the girls, they are working for some foreign nationals where they are on commercial sex duties. They are being forced to go do prostitution and then come back and give the money to these foreign nationals.
Well,
so therefore, since during the interview we found out it's human trafficking, then we continue again with the human trafficking and due processes as they're supposed to be done.
Yeah. Talk to me about the state that you found these young girls in.
They were actually traumatized, and it was evidence that they were using drugs, and they also confirmed that they are on drugs. The drugs was actually what was motivating them to continue doing prostitution for these men, because it was giving them at least courage to continue. So they were not really in good state, and they were not eating enough. They were all skinny.
Yeah. You know, it's a story that has, I imagine, shocked a lot of people, but it's something that unfortunately it happens, and it's been happening, and it's something that we need to get to the bottom of. Where are the girls right now?
The girls are now in the place of safety, and then where they'll be getting counseling from social development, and then also getting help in other forms like medical help and other things like that. They are fine now, and then they will be protected by the police.
When you found them, obviously sharing that they were actually subtly but not physically controlled. So it's the drug addiction that kept them going back for more, and obviously not running away. So they weren't actually confined or locked up when you found them.
That's correctly, and the girls were actually allowed to go out in the street and go look for clients to continue working, and then but they will still come back to the house where they were, and then give this money to the people, or sometimes even come inside their house with the clients to perform their daily duties as prescribed by their pimps.
Yeah. I mean, I'm reading that some of these girls, I mean, what ages are we talking about?
Okay, the youngest girl was 19, and she was there for 3 months. And then the older one is a woman. She's 34. And then all the 8 girls, they've been in and out of the house for almost 4 years.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also reading that they were having, some of these young girls were having sex with men up to 15 times per day. And that when the house was raided, there were condoms all over the place, and investigations showing that they were paid between 50 and 70 rand to have sex.
That's correct, Ian. That's the information we got from the girls. That's they go from they let the clients pay from 50 rands, and again it depends what kind of a client. At least those clients who pay more, like 150, according to the way they will judge the client. And then at the same time, they told us again that there will be like 10 to 15 men coming to them. So that is why we took the girls to the place of safety. And remember again, Leanne, human trafficking is supposed to be crime where all the stakeholders are supposed to be taking place. I mean, taking a part. So now what's going on is all the stakeholders are on board, and then my wish to the community there is that we can help each other and then come together, because it is hard to detect human trafficking.
Yeah.
It's hidden crime, and then it's hard to see. And therefore, if we hear of these kind of things, we must just come forth and then report the cases.
Colonel, where are the perpetrators? I mean, what is happening to them?
Okay, now what we've got, they are in custody. They'll be due for bail application next week, which we are going to deny. We are not going to give them bail. They must just be in jail, but the investigation continues.
Can they be deported? I mean, are there foreigners involved in all of this?
There are of the foreigner national, I'll confirm that. And then the deportation part is the part where the National Prosecuting Authority and the Department of Justice will work on it. I cannot say from my side that they can be deported, but I will be in favor of that. If it happens, that will be good.
Yeah. I'm also just, as we begin to wrap this up, I mean, we talk about how the public can help. I mean, this happens right under our noses and we don't even know it's happening. In fact, there were, the parents didn't even realize that their daughters were in this situation and being abused. I mean, how do parents not know about this? I mean, what is the advice that you give to people?
Okay, talking to these girls, they confirm that their parents doesn't even know what kind of job they do. But I'd like to highlight that in our provinces, we've got the so-called human trafficking task teams. In these task teams, SAPS sits in that task team, National Prosecuting Authority, Department of Justice, Department of Home Affairs, and then the NGOs. And any other people like Department of Labor and Education who wish to be in. Therefore, these forums must be used to report this crime, because sometimes the kids can talk about this crime at school. For an example, these 10, they were all recruited at the school, next to the school premises by these people. And again, they're not even from Gauteng, though they were found in Kempton Park. They're from Eastern Cape, Northwest, they're from far and KZN. So you can look that they're from other provinces. So now if the school can just be alert and maybe also join this forum and report to the churches and any other departments where they can go, and then therefore they will reach us. And within this tax team, Leanne, we've got the so-called rapid response team. The rapid response team is, I'll call it operational people, where immediately after the case of this kind is reported, we immediately stand up and try to help. We have to rescue the girls, immediately take them through the DSD social development processes, take them to the doctors, again depending on this victim's needs. Therefore, we also do victim support to the young girls.
Oh, this is a devastating story, and a story, unfortunately, we've heard all before. Quickly, literally one word answer. Have you found the owner of the house in Kempton Park?
I beg yours?
Have you found the owner of the house? The house in Kempton Park?
No, the one who's arrested is not the owner, has rented the house.
So you're still looking for the owner?
The other part, the investigation still continued, and then if you find the owner is a different story from this one.
All right.
But we will take care of it.
All right, let's leave it there. Colonel Angelina Matlabe talking to us in her capacity as the HAWKS Human Trafficking Office. And it's just frightening, absolutely frightening. Do you remember a few years ago we did a broadcast from the Home of Hope? This was in Hillbrow, and the same story, that these young girls are lured from all around South Africa with the promise of better lives and jobs. They come into Johannesburg and then they're locked up in these houses, put onto drugs and sent into a world of prostitution, and no one knows where they are. It is devastating, it really is. Please be vigilant, know where your children are, and know what your next door neighbour is getting up to. Let's take a break.